Hi, everyone. My name is Mrs. Lowe, and today we're going to be reading the story Atlantic. And just by looking at this picture, what can you tell this is going to be about? Just by looking at this picture, I can kind of tell that it's probably going to be about some body of water. And if you've ever heard of something called the Atlantic Ocean, maybe it's going to be something like that. Also, there's a tail coming out of that ocean, maybe. Little waves. And this is by G. Brian Karras, and he is an author. And do you know what an author does? Tell me. If you said an author writes the words, you are correct. And he also did the pictures. He did both. I began where the land runs out at the end of the yards and streets and hills. Look at this beautiful picture. Do you see how he's using different colors and different textures, and you can see that ocean way far in the back? I sure love the ocean, so that makes me wish that I could be at the ocean riding my bike by the ocean. I am the blue water at the beach, the waves, the mist, and storms. That salty smell is me, too. So who's talking in this story? This story is called Atlantic, and it's saying, I am the blue water. So they're talking about the Atlantic, and the Atlantic Ocean is talking. That is one of our sight words. Can you say that? T-H-A-T. So we have a ceiling letter, a fence letter, and another ceiling letter, T-H-A-T. That salty smell. I love a salty smell. You can see the storm over here, the sunshine. You can see all the light off the waves. That's so cool. I stretch from the icy poles from north all the way to the south. I rub shoulders with North America and I bump into Africa. I slosh around South America and crash into Europe. But I don't end there. The Pacific and Indian, Arctic, and Atlantic are my relatives. We are all one big family. So they're talking about the ocean on this map. And the Atlantic Ocean is a long ocean, and it connects to the Pacific Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and the Arctic and the Antarctic. All the oceans, they're all big families, so they're all big bodies of waters. And it talks about North America. We live in North America, so the Atlantic Ocean touches us in North America. You ever been to the ocean? If you ever have been to some parts of Florida or South Carolina or North Carolina, and a lot of other places too, but that rubs the Atlantic Ocean. My water doesn't stay in just one place. It travels from continent to continent. So that iceberg floating past someone's window one day will find itself lapping your toes on a warm sandy beach another. So the Atlantic Ocean starts way up high with the polar bears, and it goes all the way south. And if you're very, very, very far closest to the equator, it's very warm. So you can still be in the Atlantic Ocean and have polar bears, or you can still be in the Atlantic Ocean and have a warm sandy beach, just by the way it stretches and based on the time of year. My fingers stretch out, bays and inlets reach far into the land. Gulfs, seas, sounds, and channels lead to me and into me. They are me. So those channels and things that come out of the ocean, it's still the Atlantic Ocean. Here's our word into. And sometimes you see here the words in and then to, but there's also a word that they're combined, into. And you can tell that's what that word is because it says the word in and then to, and they're connected. I am here day and night, heaving, raging, lying still, scraping away at some land, putting it someplace else. Bit by bit, my shape changes, and it has for ages. Sometimes growing, sometimes shrinking, but I am never laying still. So the water's always changing. The sun, so many miles away, heats my water, and it makes it warmer, which turns into clouds and storms that rain into me, and it starts all over again. So it rains into the ocean, and then evaporation happens with the sun. It turns into a cloud, And then when the cloud gets heavy, it rains again, and it's a circle. It's a cycle. It's called the water cycle. The moon, so far out in space, pulls at me and then lets me go. So my waves and my tides go in when they pull and out, ebb and flood. First, I was discovered, even though I was here first, and then conquered by men with big ships who named me. I've been crossed and probed, charted and studied. So look at those little submarines studying them. And they're dropping things, cameras so that they can see. And they're doing sonar under there. And the big ships like on the Mayflower we learned about with the Pilgrims. And this is really cool. They're taking little samples from the earth, the deep, deep, dark, dark ocean. It's pretty cool. Fishermen know me. They know my oyster beds and seek out these schools of fish with hooks and nets and long lines and traps. Artists paint pictures of me with cerulean, cobalt, and ultramarine. And poets know me with their beautiful words. So here are some of their words. The sun was shining on the sea. Drops of water, little grains of sand, make a mighty ocean in the pleasant land. All of those are talking about, all those words are talking about the Atlantic Ocean. So they have artists' pictures and poets are writing words about the Atlantic Ocean. I think the Atlantic Ocean is a pretty special place. The dancing shadow of your airplane skips over a wave with dolphins who sing and race, with skates and whales and fish that fly. There's lots of millions, tons of cool creatures in the ocean, especially the Atlantic Ocean. Seagulls sing to me. Sand and pebbles rattle and clatter a chorus as I rush in and then I pull away. Why do you think they might be pulling away? Do you think they might be cold? I bet they are probably cold when you touch the ocean. Sometimes it's really cold or the waves are really crazy. The seagull's waiting for something to snack on too. My words crash and whisper in your ear. Can you all make an ocean sound? Whoosh, like the waves. Don't forget that I'm here. And he's holding a shell to his ear. If you've ever done that, give me a thumbs up. I am the Atlantic Ocean. And then here's some things, it says some things about me. I am not the Earth's largest ocean. The largest ocean is the Pacific Ocean. But I have many, many miles of the shoreline, which is the land right by the edge, because of all of my inlets and rivers and bays and gulfs and seas and sounds and channels that go into the land. People think all the Earth's oceans as one. So some people think that they're all connected and it's all one ocean. If you were to empty all of my water, you would find deep trenches like the Puerto Rico Trench is 8,000 meters deep. You could fit Mount Everest into the Puerto Rico Trench, and only a little bit would stick up. Wide basins and the Earth's longest mountain range, the Mid-Atlantic Range. So some of the world's biggest mountains are in the Atlantic. I move in giant currents like the Gulf Stream, the Brazil North Atlantic currents, bringing warm weather to Ireland and dry winds to Africa. I have been around for ages, though I am from millions and millions years of rain. I am the Earth's youngest ocean. In the beginning of Earth, we all had one ocean. I continue to grow a couple inches wider every year. And I don't know what we're going to look like in 200 years. But for as how old as I am and as strong as I can be, I'm starting to become in danger. Some things that don't belong in my water are waste and chemicals and garbage. Please help and treat me with respect so that I can live for a long time. The end. So right now I want you to think about, why is the Atlantic Ocean special, and answer that question. Bye, guys.